Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to a very, very special edition of Talking Comics with Julius Freeman, and I'm your host, Julius Freeman. This is a special Friday night live edition of Talking Comics because the Ghetto Dragon Indiegogo campaign is now live. I repeat again, it is now live. The Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed Book 1 is now live on Indiegogo. Check it out. The link is in the description below. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my camera here. I don't know why I look like I'm far away. Hold on, let me just readjust here. Just make sure that I'm in the middle here. I don't want to be lopsided. But yeah, guys, the Ghetto Dragon is now live. Hold on, give me a second. I'm texting a few people here to let them know that I'm live. But yeah, it's I hope you guys check it out. Like I said, the link is in the description below. And yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit, see if hopefully I get enough people, not enough people, but some people to come in, so that way I could show you what I have up on the screen when I share it. I'm celebrating with a cup of Jack Daniels on the rocks, straight. That's the way you gotta celebrate these things when you do it. So here's to the Ghetto Dragon Indiegogo Book 1 No Good Deed. So I hope you guys are doing well. I know the election results are still up in the air, and there's all these kind of crazy talks as to what's happening. I'm not going to get into it because this is not the stream for it. Maybe down the line I'll make a live stream. I'll do another live stream that talks about it, because I think discussion and discourse, civil discourse anyway, is important to maintain a democratic republic. But at the moment, right now, I'm just more focused on getting this campaign up and going. I hope you guys will be just as excited as I am to show it to you guys. And if you guys are watching, please, leave a comment, say hello. The more I know who's watching, the better. So that way I can remember you guys, and that way we could build a rapport with one another. And again, don't be shy to leave a comment or leave discussion or talk amongst each other if you can, or if you want. It's up to you, really. It doesn't really matter to me. So I had a good week. I hope you guys had a great week yourselves. Other than like I said, the stuff that's happening around the country. Hopefully your personal lives are going well and everything is good and your family is good and healthy and everyone's staying safe during these uncertain times. That's right, Wade Feltz. You're absolutely right. Yes, you're right. Keep it separate. Focus on the books, 100%. I'm with you there. And so, like I said, I just wanted to briefly mention it. But yes, I am going to be talking about the books and what I'm going to offer for the campaign. Like I said, the campaign is live. And thank you, Wade Feltz. Again, if I get a copy tomorrow, you'll probably be one of the first ones. If not tonight, maybe people will back it tonight or not. I don't know. Friday night is the night when people go out, and they're not staying at home anymore. I think more and more people are becoming a lot more comfortable going out tonight or going out Friday nights, considering that there's some states have taken strong precautions, and so more people are feeling a bit easier to go out and have a good time on a Friday night. But hopefully not. Hopefully I have enough people here to showcase what I have to offer in the campaign. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to see if any more people will trickle in, and then if more people do trickle in within the next few minutes, I'll get right to it. If not, I'll just go right ahead and just go on with the show. It's live after all, right? Anything happen in a live show, in a live stream. And if I see here there's 2 people watching, if you guys are interested to have a conversation or join in, hey, why not? I'll invite you guys in. You guys can share the screen. We can have a discussion. Doesn't really matter to me. It's all open forum here, baby. It's all open discussion here. And we could talk about my Ghetto Dragon, or if you are doing your own projects or working on your own thing, hey, we could talk about that too. It makes no difference to me. I'm here to promote. I'm here to spread the love. I'm here to make sure that people know about each other's works, because I think that is the future of comics. The future of comics is crowdfunding and indie. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, and that's okay. That's fine. You know, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Mine is that the future is crowdfunding. The thing about crowdfunding campaigns, though, the double-edged sword, I guess the other side of the coin when it comes to crowdfunding, is that reputation is everything. If you are an indie creator and you're doing everything on your own, the reputation falls directly upon you. Meaning, you know, say your campaign is successful and you do reach your goal and some, and you have an estimated delivery date, you have to deliver at that date. And if not, then it's your responsibility to be as transparent as possible with the people who contributed to your campaign. A perfect example of this was Jack Irons, Cody Rodriguez, the guy who created Jack Irons. Although I know he made a video about, I think, a week ago talking about some of the changes that had to happen with his campaign, and he couldn't fulfill some of the promises that he had promised before. But like I told him, and I'll tell you guys, that was better than nothing. Meaning, he could have just stayed quiet. He could have just pretended like, oh, if I just ignore it and I don't say anything, maybe hopefully they'll forget. But he didn't. He bit the bullet. He made a video. He apologized. He was very heartbroken about it, but at least he was honest. He was honest. He was transparent. And for me, in my eyes, he gained brownie points in my eyes. To me, I go, okay, this guy can be trusted because at least he's honest. At least he's straightforward. And, you know, that's the way it's got to be when it comes to crowdfunding campaigns. Wade, yep, that's right, man. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. It is definitely the future of comics. And a lot of people have found success doing crowdfunding campaigns. And of course, there's varying levels of success. You have your EBS and your Richard Myers who are freaking up here. And then you have, you know, your middle ground, which is fine. It all depends on your how, like, I guess your own preference. I'm pretty sure EBS didn't think he was going to raise $1 million. It just happened because he already had a fan base. Richard C. Myers, another example. Who's another example? I mean, Doug Naple, he's Earthworm Jim, so obviously he was going to get a lot of backup there. But you know, everyone I've seen campaigns that are up in, you know, really up here in the middle, and then some that actually unfortunately don't succeed. But I've seen some where I think another Napalm Brothers, I think is one where I think the goal was like $1,000 and they got it like $2,000, $3,000, and that's good. That's still good. Another book I think is I forgot the name of it. It's done by a guy, he's a really cool dude. It's a Viking book. Can't remember it. Gosh, I can't remember. Let me look it up real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Why can't I? Here we go. Holger, the Last Viking. This guy, I don't know his name. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but here's a good example. Let me share my screen so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. This guy right here. I think his goal was 1,500, and he reached 1,620, which is still great. He still hit the goal, and he, from what I've seen on his Twitter account, on his stream, on his thread, he's fulfilled his campaign promises, and now his you know, quote unquote credit is up in the eyes of the people who contributed. The 82 backers who contributed to his campaign will now more than likely contribute to his next campaign, which is a great thing, because that means more success for the writer of this book. It's a great book. I checked. He Cole Anderson. No, Honors Two. That's not his real name, but I'll call him Honors Two. He's a great dude. I've interacted with him on Twitter. He's a great down to earth guy. If you haven't shown him any love, show him some love. Follow him on Twitter. He's definitely up there in my eyes as a talent to watch out for when it comes to indie comics. So yeah, there's his campaign. It's closed now, but like I said, follow him on Twitter. Show him some love, and when he launches another campaign, you guys can show him some support and showcase your love for his work, because I think he is going places personally speaking. Anyway, all right, so. I think I waited long enough, so I'm just gonna get right to it. People who come in later will have to just watch the video later, and I'm gonna just keep this party going. So here is the Ghetto Dragon campaign that is now live. Book 1, No Good Deed. This image right here is drawn by an artist named Afu Chan. Afu Chan, if you guys don't know, I think he's currently drawing an image book with John Layman. I can't remember the name of the book off the top of my head, but he contributed a few pages to the Ghetto Dragon story, and this is one piece that I really loved. It really came out fantastic. Let me see if I can zoom in. Hopefully I can zoom in so you guys can see. Yeah, that's kind of better. You kind of see, if you look back here, the fight starts back here. If you look at the arrow, and then there's a sequence of fight moves captured one by one, borderless. It was a great image. It's a double page spread. It was supposed to be a double page spread, but we kept it as a art piece. Let me zoom out now. Okay. So yeah, guys, let me play the video for you. The commercial is I tweaked it a bit from the pre-launch commercial. So I kind of changed a few things here and there, but it's essentially the same as the pre-launch commercial, with obviously some difference in images and the language. So let me play it for you now so you guys can check it out. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Welcome to the Ghetto Dragon Book 1. No Good Deed, a 60-plus page story about a young man who saves an underage girl from being kidnapped by a heartless group of gang niggas who will stop at nothing to protect their street cred. Follow Matt as he pays the consequences of his good deed with his fists, causing those valientes to turn their sights on his family. Does our hero back down, or does he stand his ground? Join us in this martial arts adventure that involves action, drama, a little romance, and tragedy. Follow Julius Freeman on Twitter and Facebook for the latest updates. Also, check out his YouTube channel and subscribe, where you can join him in exploring the rich history behind the creation of the Ghetto Dragon. Help make it happen with the Ghetto Dragon Book 1. No Good Deed. You won't regret it.
All right, so there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's see if anyone has contributed to the campaign. Let's refresh. Look at that. One backer. Thank you. Whoever backed it, thank you for the contribution. Is a great help. We're already up again 4% from the 500 flexible goal. Now I'll explain everything step by step, so that way you guys can have a clear understanding of what I'm offering. So since you saw the commercial, and again, once again, whoever contributed, thank you. I appreciate it. Much love to you. I'll check out who it was in a minute, and then I'll give you a thank you personally after I'm done with the stream. So let's take a look here. So the first perk is a PDF copy of the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed. It's a black and white copy. It isn't going to be in color, which is the reason why it's only $3 for a digital PDF, unlocked, meaning you could download it to your desktop. You could share it amongst your friends if you like. It doesn't really matter. I was gonna lock it. Full disclosure, I was considering offering a locked copy of uh, this version, but then I had someone wisely tell me that that would be a mistake, and so I decided against it and decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna just gonna let it go. You know, as that Disney movie or whatever that Disney movie is called. I don't know. So yeah, that is a black and white version of the book one for $3. Straight to your email address. If the file proves to be too big, because it is about over 50 pages of story, if the file does prove to be too big, you know, don't stress, don't fret. I'll make sure to send a Dropbox link to your email address, so that way you could download it from the link into your desktops, and you'll have it and you'll own it, and it'll be yours to keep. So there's that. The tiers, the digital tier. Then you have the black and white tier, which is $5. This is a printed copy of the black and white version of the Ghetto Dragon Book One, No Good Deed, with the cover of Alan Fletcher. If you see, let me get a better. Give me a second. Let me get you a better view of this beautiful image by Alan, because I think I think that tier, you can't do it justice. There we go. So that's how it looks. That's the cover you'll get. That's the cover you'll get for the black and white version. It won't be in color. It's going to be in black and white. I was going to color this cover. I really, because you know, of course, it's a great cover. I love the mangled bodies on the floor here, and then of course our hero with ripped jeans, and I was going to have him have bloody knuckles here, and you know, blood spilling out, and he's ready, man. Look at his ripped. If you look closely here, he has his jacket or his sweater ripped here in the corner there, and of course the bystanders watching and recording, and you know, shocked that this one guy was able to beat up all these guys. But the more I looked at it, the more I thought, you know what, I think it's just better to keep it in black and white, and just keep it as a special cover for the black and white version only. So this cover will only be available for the black and white version of the Ghetto Dragon Book One, No Good Deed. It won't be available in color. So this is, if you really like this image, then I would recommend you get the black and white version, because I know there's some people who do like black and white versions of books. I'm a fan of those. From time to time, I do, like for instance, Batman Black and White. When that came out, I got that copy because it was perfect, right? Batman Black and White. What more can you ask for? That's like it was a special thing that they did, and it was great. It was a fantastic book, and I wish they would have done more of those, but you know, it is what it is. So I decided to kind of take that route with this version and just keep this black and white. So there's that tier, black, $5. It's only $5 for this version of the Ghetto Dragon, black and white. Like I said, if you guys want the black and white version, and it's $5 too. I mean, that's a deal, really, for 50 pages of story. That's a great deal, in my opinion. So if you guys are a little tight on money, and you don't really can't afford anything else other than $5, and this is the tier for you. This is the tier for you. So moving on to the colored tiers, and this is the Kim Jacinto cover of the colored version of the Ghetto Dragon. Now it's $11 for, again, 50 plus pages of story. Hopefully I can get some extras, you know, like extra behind the scenes stuff in that book, so that you guys can have like a sneak peek as to the process of making a comic book and the process of making this comic book. Hopefully we'll see. I'm still seeing what I'm still kind of working out the book layout, the print layout, because I was working on that over the weekend, and I ran out of time. I had to leave town, so I really get a chance to really work on that. But yeah, this is the Kim Jacinto cover. Again, let me open up a so you guys can take a better look at. There it is. Bam. Kim Jacinto. If you guys don't know who Kim Jacinto is, he is a Marvel Comics artist, very famous. He's drawn, I think, Venom. I think he did a few Punisher books. He's mainly a cover artist now. I worked with Kim years ago, long before he became the big time model artist that he is today. I got really lucky. If you guys follow me on YouTube and you guys have seen my channel, my content, you would know that I worked with Kim back in 2000. I want to say 2010 or 2011, and but even back then was fantastic. He was just top notch. Like he just had it. There's some artists that just have it. That just they just get what sequential storytelling is, and Kim Jacinto was that guy. And so he was nice enough to draw me this cover for the campaign, and I mean it came out beautiful. I really loved the way it came out, and he gave his own interpretation of the Ghetto Dragon. As you can see, he gave him gloves, and when I saw this image, I was like, "Damn it! I wish I wish I would have thought of that. The gloves, of course, he would have been the character would have looked so much more badass if I gave him gloves like these." And I didn't think of it until I saw this image and went, "Oh well, too late now." I mean, I guess maybe I'll add them later in later iteration, not the later iteration, but in book 2, because right now that's in the process of being produced. So in book 2, I'll probably give him the gloves as a little homage, thank you to Kim for adding them here in the cover. So there's that, and of course you have this is the antagonist of the story. His name is Dreamer. These are piercings, by the way. These are not horns. They're piercings. I one day went to a Comic-Con and I saw this guy who he didn't have them like this, like a triangle. He had 2 of them on his forehead, and I remember looking and going, "Man, that would be gnarly." Like someone, like if you got into a fight and headbutted someone, just bam. Can you imagine? Oh man, that would suck. So, anyways, when I saw that guy, it gave me the idea of like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if there was like a bad guy who had the horns, but I added a third one because as you read the book, you'll see that he is part of a organization that's a little seedy. I'm not gonna give away what it is. You guys will have to read that, find out. And yeah, so here's the little action that Kim added to the foray of the cover, and it's a great piece. And that leads me to talk about the 5K, the break right here. If you see here closely, I don't know if you can see it from your screens, but it says a special bonus if we break 5K. So if we break 5,000, if I'm able to raise over $5,000 for this campaign, these are the goodies I'll be able to produce that goes along with your book. So you'll have a print, an 8x11 print of this beautiful cover, alongside a few stickers, and this print too, the print that I mentioned earlier here. You'll have also this print as well sent to you if we break 5K for this campaign. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it for the black and white version. It'll only be for the colored version of the campaign of this tier. Not just this tier, but the second one, which I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, that's the goal here. If I could break 5K, then I'll be able to add all these little goodies here to your comic book, and you'll be able to have something special, something extra for your stuff. So yeah, if you make it help make it happen, and I'll be able to do it. And here's the second cover by a guy named Steven Seven, an up and coming artist who actually contacted me via Twitter, and he sent me a sketch of this cover, and I really liked the way he drew it. So I messaged him back saying, "Hey man, are you interested in drawing a cover for the campaign?" And he said, yeah, he was all for it, and he drew me the cover. And let me bring it up here again so you guys can check it out. Where are you at? There you are. Whoops, it's not what I wanted, but whatever. And there it is. That's his cover. So yeah, there's his cover in gray. I don't know what he used. Whoops, sorry, give me a second here. I'm kind of messing up here. What's going on? There we go. There we go. I don't know what he used here, really. If you're watching, bud, leave me a comment, and let the people know here what you used for this beautiful rendition of the cover. I want to say, I'm not gonna guess. I can't really see it on the IGG page. Sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen. I guess I'm not sharing my screen. You're not Seven, am I not sharing the screen? Can you not see the Photoshop window on the screen? There you go. That's what he used, guys. The Force. He used the Force to create this beautiful, absolutely pristine cover of the Ghetto Dragon. I really loved what he drew back there. For the cover, the people back here, the mother and the father, and some Randall here, and then the tires back there, like he's trapped in the alley, and he has no choice but to fight his way out of the alley. So let me stop sharing. There we go. Well, crap. Well, hold on. What did I do? I messed up here. Give me a second. Let me. There we go. So yeah, there's that, guys. So you have the choice. The choice is yours. You can pick Steven Seven's cover, which is still a beautiful cover. I mean, there's no denying it. This guy is going places. If but it's small on the Indiegogo. Okay, well, I hopefully you can see it now with the Photoshop page that I have up here. Hopefully it's not the Indiegogo page. From my end, I can see it's the Photoshop page. So let me know if you guys can see the Photoshop page. If not, then I'll see what I can do to fix that. But yeah, so Steven Seven is an up and coming, for me, he's an up and coming artist. And if you guys are looking for an artist to draw covers, I don't know, do you do interior arts, Seven? Let me know if you do interior arts. If you do, then I could plug that as well. Or if you want to, if you're not too shy, you could jump on the live stream and you and I can have a little discussion if you like, but that's up to you. But yeah, this guy, if you want to hire him for your covers, I highly recommend you hire him and give him a shot, because I think he's like I said, he's going places, and this guy, you're gonna know his name in a few years. I feel that's just me personally speaking. So yeah, there's that. So you guys have the choice. You guys have the choice of the Kim Jacinto art cover, which is cover A, which is $11, and for the same price, you can get the Steven Seven cover, which is what someone already claimed. That's the person. Let's find out. Let's see if anyone else has contributed to the campaign. Nope, just one person still. So, but still, that's good. That's good enough for me for the time being, considering that it's gone live for the past half hour. So that's a good sign for me anyway. So let's move on to the next thing. So the next tier is $16. And give me a second. Someone's texting me. Gotta make sure I text them back. So the next tier is the 1-2 punch tier. That's what I call. This tier is, let's see if I could, I'm gonna, there you go. Hopefully you guys can see it better. So this tier is going to offer 2 books. One book is book 1 of the Ghetto Dragon, No Good Deed. The second, oh hell no, that shit put me in retirement. Oh well, okay. Well, hey, but the door is always open for you, my friend. So if you wanna, ever come on, you're more than welcome to come on my show, and we could, talk comics or talk whatever you want, your process or whatever the case. But it's, if you don't do interior art, then it's a shame. I think you would do really well. But hey, like I say, if that's how you feel comfortable doing, then go for it, man. All more power to you. So moving on. Let me keep on going with this. So this tier, the 1-2 punch tier, for both the Kim Jacinto cover and Steven Seven cover, is 2 books, 2 comic books essentially. So one is the book 1, No Good Deed, and the second one is the Ghetto Dragon Chronicles. If you guys have been following me or watching my YouTube content, you would know that the short version, parts 1 and part 2, were the time periods where I was producing short Ghetto Dragon comics, and I was hoping to release them online for free. to readers, and I was hoping that the Julius Freeman brand name would eventually get to the awareness of comic book readers who were looking for something like this, martial arts, centric comics. And it didn't work out the way I had planned because I was losing so much money. I was bleeding money producing these shorts, and I was not getting anything in return. And I realized, you know what, if I post these for free, I'm not going to get anything in return. These were the days before Patreon and PayPal, and so I didn't really have, no, PayPal was around, but I didn't really know how to use PayPal yet, as a function to generate income into producing comics. So I decided that it was best to simply stop, but I had made enough content to make one whole book. So this is what the 1-2 punch tier is. It's $16. It's still pretty good for 2 books for $16. Is still, in my book, a good deal. So you'll get about 50 plus pages of story content for the Ghetto Dragon book 1, and you'll get about 28 pages, I want to say roughly estimated, for the second book. It's all the short stories that I have produced compiled into one. So you'll have 2 books. And another factor for this tier is that this tier is only available for the campaign. So let me repeat that so you guys can get that. This tier, these 2 tiers, the cover A and cover B, is just exclusively for this campaign. So once this campaign is over, I'm never going to reprint these shorts ever again. They're done. I'm never going to do it. Never. You have my word. You have my word here on record on the live stream. This is the only time you can only get this this book. It's not going to be available on in demand. The only books that will be available on in demand once the campaign is over is these 2 tiers. The black and white, I might keep up. I'm not sure yet, but the PDF will probably stay up as well, because of course the PDF is like a good alternative to people who don't want the physical copy. Because I know there's some people who like digital, and so this one here, I'm thinking about not offering in demand. I'm still on the fence about that. But if you guys will let me know if you guys still want it, then I'll keep it up. But these 2 here for sure will remain on in demand, but these 2 will not be on in demand. I'm just letting you guys know right now. These 2 tiers will not be available on in demand, and they're only available for this campaign. So for 30 days, you have a chance to get a copy of some great content that didn't get the chance to see light of day because of certain circumstances that stopped me from pursuing it further. So there you have it, guys. That's all I could offer. Once again, if I do reach the 5,000 goal, that's not 5,000 goal, but if you help me break 5,000 from this campaign, then I can add the goodies to these tiers as well. So if you guys can help me pass that $5,000 mark, then you'll get the stickers and prints of the Steven Sevens cover, Apu-chan's cover, and I'm not Apu-chan's, Kim Jacinto's cover, and Apu-chan's cover right here, because this is a beautiful piece. I know this screen doesn't do it justice. Let me see if I can find it on my computer here, and if I do have it, then I'll pop it up here so you guys can take a closer look at it. Give me a second here. There we go. Oops. There we go. So there you have it. That's essentially what you'll get. One of the prints, 8x11, no doubt, because of course the mailing is a factor when it comes to mailing these things in. I don't want to ruin the image. I don't want to roll it up. I don't want to bend it. It's a beautiful image. I think Apu-chan did a fantastic job with this. And this, when he was attached to the project years ago, we were discussing, methods and ways to convey this story, and we were going to push the envelope. We were going to experiment with the medium. That was the plan. The plan was we're gonna sit down, we're gonna brainstorm, and this is an idea of what we were gonna do in terms of fight scenes, borderless fight scenes. Kind of has a Frank Quietly type of feel to it. If you guys do follow Frank Quietly's work with Grant Morrison, they do a lot of this. But again, Afu was gonna go above and beyond to make sure this stood out from the rest of the books that were out there at the time. And this is a great piece, and I think you guys would greatly appreciate this piece of artwork done by a very talented and skilled artist in Afu Chan. So there we go. So that's pretty much it, guys. So let's see if anyone else has contributed to the campaign. We already have one contributor, which again, thank you. Nope, still one backer. Again, we still have 30 days, so let me now focus on the preview. So here's the way the book is going to be presented is I'm a huge novel reader. I love novels. I love reading novels, and I've always loved the factor of chapters. You get a little sub story amongst the big story. With chapters. And that's what I wanted to convey for this project, is to have chapters. So this is the cover for chapter 1 of Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed. So you'll get the cover, the overall cover of the entire book. And then when you open your book, you're going to see this as the chapter 1 cover for the story. And then we go on with the story. So our hero here is jogging. It's late at night. It's 11 o'clock in the PM. And he's jogging through a neighborhood. People know him. He's friendly. And he jogs by a store owner who waves hi to him. He runs into an alleyway and he finds 3 masked men kidnapping a young girl. You can't really see her right now because of the screen, but yeah, it's 3 masked men. 2 masked men are holding a young girl and dragging her into the back of a van, and the gangster here flashes a gun to our hero, pretty much tells him, hey, forget about what you saw, turn around. And our hero just throws the phone right at his face, hits his nose, breaks it, and he just goes right into action, just like a hero is supposed to do, right? So he jumps right into action, kicks the guy out. He crouches here and he leaps into the van. He jumps into the van to fight him off, and of course he fights off the guy who's fighting him. Wait a minute, I think I made a mistake here. Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, I made a huge mistake, man. Junior Pineda says, do the gangsters work for the Clintons and their good friend Epstein? Ooh, that's a you may have to read to find out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, guys. No, they don't. They don't. But that would be a good plot point, wouldn't it? I just realized something, guys. I missed a freaking page. There's a page missing. Dude. Oh man, rookie mistake. I jumped the gun here. Oh man. Well, I messed up big time. So what happens after this page is he jumps in and the driver takes off and he screeches out of the alley as the 2 guys are fighting, and then it leads to this page here. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Oh man, this is gonna throw everyone off. Whatever. It is what it is, right? So yeah, so he breaks the guy's arm. The driver is freaked out because he's never seen anyone ever do that to any of their guys. And of course, he threatens the driver, telling him to stop, or else he'll do him worse. And then the driver just books it. He just pusses out and just books it, jumps out of the car. He'd rather jump out of the car and get hurt jumping out of a moving car than dealing with our hero, who he just saw break the guy's arm in 2. So he realizes the car is still going, it hasn't stopped, grabs the young girl, and he just jumps out of the van, back first, protecting the young girl as the van crashes against the wall of the building. So there's that. And then we move on to the hospital here. He's giving his report to the cops, and the cops let this young girl in who, there's a little wink here. The cop kind of tells him, that she's allowed to go in and talk to him, and then you find out that this girl here is the older sister of the young girl he saved in the previous pages here. So she's extremely grateful that he pretty much, risked his life to save her young sister, a stranger, no less. Because I'm a huge fan of heroism and courage. I don't think we have enough of that today in today's cinema and today's media. We have a lot of anti-heroes, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with anti-heroes. I'm not against anti-heroes. I love anti-heroes. But every so often, I enjoy reading, courageous characters who just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And that's what that's what Matt Guerra, that's the character's name, Matt Guerra, the Ghetto Dragon. That's what he does in this story. He risks his own life to save a young girl from potentially being kidnapped and doing God knows what too. And so the older sister is extremely grateful. She gives him a big hug, and she's thanking him for what about his heroism. And they have a nice little moment together where they talk, they have a little back and forth, and she, explained to him how her little sister got involved in the situation that she was in. She met some guy online. They started talking, and as you know, these things always end, for the most part, always end bad, especially when they sneak out of the house to meet someone late at night from someone they spoke to online. So they have a little moment here, and then she introduces herself to him, and there's a little sneak peek, a little teaser that not only is she grateful, but she's interested in him. Just a little something for the ladies. Something that I wanted to add on to the ladies. I don't want to make this too macho. You could thank my wife for that because she's the one that recommended that. So you should. I think she was on the right there when she told me that I should add a romantic subplot to the story because it would add more complexity to the character, which you will see as you read on the book. And so we start with chapter 2. So again, remember, the idea is like a novelization of a comic, but instead of chapters with words, you have chapters with images. So you can have little small covers of chapters. So this is chapter 2. Please, at the end of the chapter is called "Pleased to Meet You," and it's the cover of the antagonist, the back of the antagonist, and it starts off with him peeing on someone in the cage. Very dehumanizing act. He showcased to the reader that this guy is a power-hungry tyrant who dehumanizes his victims. And so he has a guy inside a cage and he's peeing on him. And while he's urinating on the man, he's explaining about the van that was caught by the cops, the van that crashed earlier in the story right here. And so as he's doing that, he explains, okay, so now the cops have our van, they have some of our boys, and you ran away instead of putting the bullet into this guy's head or sticking around and being the gangster that you're supposed to be. So he's disappointed in him, but he gives him a chance. He's not all bad. He gives him a chance and says, okay, you better make this right. Find this guy and make an example out of him. And of course, Casper, the character's name is Casper, is loosely based on a guy I once knew growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in Orange County. It was a Latino-centric community, so meaning there's a lot more Latinos in the town, in the city. And there was a guy named Casper, a white guy, an actual white dude named Casper, who spoke like he came from Mexico. He had an accent. He spoke like a gangster, but he was straight up white. If you want to believe that. I didn't personally know him. I just knew him by rep, because my older brother was a gangbanger. He did gangbang growing up. So I'm not going to say which gang, but he told me some pretty gruesome stories about his life as a gangster in the city that I grew up in. But Casper was a guy loosely based on the guy that was a real person. So he tells Casper to do the right thing, make it right, find the guy who got their boys caught, and make an example out of him. And so they set him up. As you see here, he's jogging. Two guys over here are beating up someone on the floor, and they run away. And it turns out he's a dummy. It's a dummy, and he realizes right here, like, oh crap. And then when he turns around, there's a bunch of people chasing him, not chasing him, but jumping over the fence with bats and weapons. And then they get right to the fight. And if you can see, there's a close up of a phone, and they go through the, our hero throws one of the guys through the glass, and they go right to the fight. And our hero just one by one starts taking them out, and you realize that this guy is not a pushover. He is one tough son of a bitch. And they almost get him. They grab him here, and the guy with the knife, but he still manages to get out and get away. And he ends up winning the fight. And it ends with the close up of the phone, and you find out that the antagonist, his name is Dreamer, by the way, is watching the whole thing unfold on his phone, meaning that he realizes, like, oh shit, this guy is actually tough. This guy is the real deal. So in other words, he realized, okay, so maybe my guys didn't really stand a chance. So he sees the video, but he realizes, you know what, like, you should have done better than this, Casper. He tells Casper here. And so he tells Casper, I'm giving you one more chance, but if you screw this up, I will personally send you to hell myself. And then the next scene is they attack his family. He's like Superman, right? You can't really beat Superman unless you have kryptonite, or you go after his friends. So that's what they do. They go after his family. They beat up his family. His little brother, they beat him up. His little sister, they beat her up. His father, they beat him up. His mother, and there is no honor among thieves, as they say. So there's the preview, 15 pages preview of the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed Book 1. Michael Gomez asked, do you cover any backstory on how you learned the martial art? Not in this book. Not in this book. I thought about it, but I think it's best to introduce the character first, and then later on give off the origin tale as to how he got his skills. And let me tell you something. It's going to be it's a great story. I already written it out. I already wrote it out. It's written out. It's ready to be drawn. I just haven't had a chance to produce it yet, but it's written. Yeah, I know exactly what happens, and it's a great story. I think everyone here who once they get introduced to Matt Guerra, the Ghetto Dragon, and they learn about him through this story, the good, No Good Deed Book 1. I'm hoping that they build up a relationship with this character, so that way when I do reveal the backstory, it's even sweeter to learn about the backstory of how he gained his martial arts skills. Because I think a great story anyway is a story where you kind of let it simmer a little bit and you just go right into the action, so you can see, so the reader can see what kind of person he is under a certain situation. As you can see in the first chapter, I immediately introduce what kind of person he is. He just jumps right into it, doesn't think twice, as that's what Jeet Kune Do is. Jeet Kune Do is that's the kind of style that Bruce Lee created. People don't realize this about Bruce Lee. Give us a sneak peek of what, like his origin, or what? I don't understand what that means exactly. But as I was saying, Jeet Kune Do, what people don't realize about Jeet Kune Do is that it's a style with no style, right? But it's more than that. It's a form of thinking. It's to help you train. It's to help train yourself for situations on the street. Sneak peek? No, I can't, because it's in script form. There is no sneak peek. I wish there was a sneak peek. I wish I could show you pages of his origin story, but I don't have them because I haven't produced them. Once I do, of course, it really does ride on the success of this campaign. If this campaign is successful and people do dig the Ghetto Dragon and they want more of it, then yeah, then it will just help me produce the stories that I want to produce. And I do plan on producing more. This is supposed to be a long epic tale of a character's journey from this to up until his 30s. I want to expand all the, because right here, this story, No Good Deed, is going to cover around when he's 19, 20 years old. And so book 2 will be kind of the same age, a little older. But then book 3 is going to jump right into his 30s. So I'm hoping that I haven't thought that far that far ahead because I'm waiting to see how this campaign does. But I'm hoping that it does find some success. So that way, when book 3 comes out, oh man, you guys have no idea what's in store for you for book 3. I won't say too much of that, but anyways, yes, I do have an origin story, and I do want to produce it. I hope to one day produce it, and once I do produce it, then I will be more than happy to show you guys a sneak peek of that story. But that's for a later date. And so, as I was saying, the Jeet Kune Do style is supposed to help you train your mind to immediately get into survival mode when you're in danger. That's what Jeet Kune Do is. That's what people think Jeet Kune Do is a style that just teaches you how to be a badass and, like, you know, kick people's asses. That's not what Jeet Kune Do is. Jeet Kune Do is a survival martial arts, because Bruce Lee understood that street fighting has no rules. There is no rules or honor in street fighting. You know, anything goes in a street fight. People can pick up a rock, hit you over the head with it. They can pick up a club. They could scratch your eyes out. They could bite you. They could do whatever they want because there is no rules in a street fight. And so Jeet Kune Do was developed in a way to help you train to adapt to the situation you're in. So, for instance, yeah, if you're like a practitioner of Jeet Kune Do or a master of Jeet Kune Do, and immediately you know the person who is threatening you is not going to stop with words, meaning you try to talk your way out of it, and they're not going to back down. They're not going to stop because you're asking them politely to stop. Then immediately you train yourself to immediately disable him. Make sure he gets down before he gets to you, because the whole key is to take down your opponent as fast and quick as possible, because the longer the street fight lasts, the higher chance you get of losing the fight. Because again, anything can happen. You can pull out a knife, stab you in the freaking neck, and it's over. It's over, right? It doesn't matter how trained you are, it doesn't matter how strong you are, it doesn't matter how big you are. That knife goes in your neck and comes back out, and there's blood spilling out. You're done. So that's where Bruce Lee taught in Jeet Kune Do, and that's what I implemented in the story with this character. That's why in the beginning of this story, he just jumps right into action, because he knows if I wait, this guy will pull out his gun. That's why when he showed him his gun, if you look at the first panel here, he shows him the gun. The next one is boom, the phone in his nose. He didn't wait. He didn't hesitate. He didn't put his hands up and go, oh, let's talk about this. No, he just grabbed the phone, he threw it. That's why it was a 1-2 move. First panel shows him the gun. Second panel, he's taken out, because you break your nose, your eyes are watering, you're done. You can't really focus. Can't focus. You can't. You're done. And that's why in this third panel here, you see him right here. You can see him right in the corner. He's holding his nose because he's in pain, and he goes right into it. And then of course our hero again, he just goes right into it. Boom, kneels down and jumps to the van. And again, I can't believe I missed the page. That's so rookie mistake on my end. But I'll show it to you right here, because that's seriously embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm pretty embarrassed by that. Let me just show you the page that's missing here. I don't know how I missed that. So there you go. This is the page that came after. That was supposed to come after the one after he jumps into the van. So he jumps into the van and he's beating up the guy in the van. And the driver, holy shit, steps on the gas. The van screeches out of the alley, and the doors are still open, and they're in the van. Right here, you can see him kind of stumbling out, and then they're fighting in the van as the van is going at full speed. And then it leads to this page. But yeah, that's the Jeet Kune Do philosophy has been implemented in this story. And Matt Guerra is not Bruce Lee. He's not the son of Bruce Lee. He wasn't trained by Bruce Lee personally, but the spirit of Bruce Lee is alive in Matt Guerra. Because Bruce Lee movies, what I love about Bruce Lee movies, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people who do love Bruce Lee movies can agree, that what everyone loves about Bruce Lee is that he jumps into action. He doesn't wait. He's a badass. When the situation arises and he has to take action, he takes it. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't think about it. He just goes for it. That's why everyone loves Bruce Lee. And on top of that, he's not afraid to kill you. He's not afraid to hurt you because he understands the rules of street fighting. There are no rules in street fighting. There is no compassion in street fighting. I've seen countless street fight videos where the guy is down and the guy who won the fight is still stomping on his face with his feet. Like it's still stomping on him when the guy is clearly out. And again, it's because there are no rules in street fighting. That's why it's best to either try to run away from it, walk away from it, or if you have to do it, make sure you knock out the other guy first before you book it. That's the key. That was what Bruce Lee taught with his Jeet Kune Do philosophy and his style. Style with no style. It's adaptability. You adapt to the circumstances that you're in, so that way you could live to see another day. And that's what happens in this story. This story is very grounded. I was going to make it kind of mystical, in the way kind of like the Last Dragon with the glow, but I decided against it because the more I wrote it, the more I realized, you know what, this would be a better book if it's just grounded and gritty. Street, I guess you could say. Keep it on the streets. I'm not saying that I grew up in the hard knock life of the ghetto, but I lived close by to it. I was right at the line where it's lower class and middle class. I was right there. I was always teetering up and down from it. There was a few years in the neighborhood I grew up in where it was really, really bad. It was really bad. A lot of drive-by shootings, a lot of gang fights in front of my house because, like I said, my older brother was a gang member, so there was always gangsters looking for him at my house, calling them out, and my brother would just come out and they would fight. They would literally fight in my front yard. I'm talking about like like those old school gang movie fights, like the 50s, with the knives and the West Side Story, like that. For a few years before I think the cops cracked down or whatever, and then it kind of became peaceful, probably around like mid 90s to 2004. Around that period of time when it kind of calmed down. But before that, man, it was one of those situations where you always had any screeching noise on the street, meaning screeching like tire screeching that you heard, you either jumped onto the floor, you like fell to the floor, or you hid him behind a tree because you didn't know if it was going to be a drive-by shooting or not. So it was mainly like it was a combination of my own personal experiences plus my love of Bruce Lee movies, and then of course learning Bruce Lee's philosophy. It's all put into this book, into the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed, book 1. And it's a pride and joy for me. It's a work of labor, love. 10 years in the making, guys. 10 years. That's that's right, Elvira. Thug life, man. Yeah. Kidding. Thug life for sure. It was definitely an experience. I'll share a story with you guys. Yeah, the one I remember the most was I was watching TV. I forgot what I was watching, but I heard commotion coming from outside, and it sounded like people arguing. So I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So I got up and I looked out the window of because my house, my childhood house, was weird. It was built weird. The kitchen was the first thing you walked into when you walked in the house. It was weird. I think it was one of those houses that they made into an apartment complex. But yeah, so when you walked into my house, the first thing you saw was the kitchen and then the living room. So I walked into the kitchen and I climbed up the sink. I looked out the window and I literally saw two groups, group of 6, group of like 7 or so people, and they rushed each other. And next thing I know, I'm seeing a huge freaking like fight in front of my yard. And people were like scratching each other, like, pulling their hair, grabbing their neck, punching, kicking. It was the most insane thing I ever seen in my life. I was only like 7 or 8 years old when I saw that. And of course, my mom came out because she wanted to know what was going on. And when she saw what was happening, she pulled me off from the sink, told me to get into the living room, stay in the room, don't come out. And then of course the cops came not that long after. And then of course all that stuff happened with the cops. So yeah, that was one crazy story that happened in the neighborhood I grew up in, in the city I still love to this day. I'm not gonna get named the city, but it's in Orange County. 7, have you had training in Jeet Kune Do? No, no, I have not. I wish I had when I was younger, but I was too damn lazy and too damn scared to try it out. I I got a hold of the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, a copy of it years ago. I think I want to say in 2006. A friend of mine had a copy of it. He let me borrow it, and I started reading it, and I was like, "Oh my god, man, this!" And I finally understood what Jeet Kune Do was. It's called the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. I'm pretty sure you can find it on Amazon if you guys are interested in reading up on it. It's a great book. He gives you details as to how you should work out, how many times a day you should work out, what you to do, push-ups, sit-ups, how many reps, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, he would give his philosophical outlook on what Jeet Kune Do is. And yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's always been a fascination for me as well because even growing up watching his movies, I was always um, fascinated by that interview he gave, that black and white interview where he talked about be like water. The water becomes the cup, the water becomes the teapot, that kind of stuff. And it was a point that was that for me, that was the moment where I was like, what the hell, what did he mean by that? And I was hooked. So it was another layer of my fascination with Bruce Lee when he said those words in that interview, and realized, wow, like, oh, style with no style, that kind of stuff. And that's always been a thing for me. So never reveal that you've had training in Jeet Kune Do till it's too late for them. Absolutely, man. Yeah, totally. Um, it it's always funny when I hear stories or when I watch videos. I used to work with a guy. His name was Mark years ago at the mall at Crate and Barrel, and he told me this. He was a martial artist, and I picked his brain, for months when I worked with him because obviously I was still working on the Ghetto Dragon, so I was picking his brain in terms of like, you know, movements and like moves and takedowns and what to do when you are in a street fight, that kind of deal. And he told me the story that yeah, he was at a bar with his friend, and his friend was also a trainee. I think not in Jeet Kune Do. He was I think judo and Krav Maga, I think it was. And there was a rowdy guy, at the bar, and the guy was, obviously his friend was a little bigger. He was like 6'3" or something like that. And so this rowdy guy was being obnoxious, and his friend said, "Hey, calm down." Told him essentially told him to shut up. And the guy came up to him, and he got to his face, and of course, my coworker Mark was he's a lot more peaceful, I guess, than his friend. He said that his friend was a bit more, aggressive. And Mark is a freaking you would never have guessed he was a martial artist because of his demeanor. He was very nice, very down to earth, and always smiling, always laughing and joking. So you never thought he was a fighter. Like, you never would have guessed. I didn't guess until he told me that he trained for like 20 years. But anyway, he didn't want his friend to get into a fight because they had just got to the bar, and he was eyeing this woman who was eyeing them back, so he didn't want to leave. So he told his friend, he grabbed his friend's shoulder and said, "Hey man, we have to leave soon because we have Krav Maga training at 7, and we have judo at 10." And when the guy heard that, his eyes kind of widened a little bit, kind of like, oh crap. And he kind of just put his hands up, like, "Oh, sorry man, my mistake, I'll just let you to it, have a good night." And he left the bar. He left the bar because obviously he didn't want any trouble. But that's perfect, man. 20 years. Is your friend's name Sun Tzu? No. No, he was older, man. He was like 45, I want to say, when I worked with him. So he started training when he was like 19. He told me when he was 19 or 18 when he started training. Because he said he started training because he was bullied in school and he got tired of it. And he's like, well, after high school, I'm gonna go to training. And I'm gonna freaking make sure. I want to make sure that no one ever messes with me ever again. And that's why he trained for continuously until even I'm pretty sure he still trains to this day. That was like 5 years ago. So yeah, 50. He's probably 50 now. He probably still trains, and he was in great shape too. He did not look 45. He looked like he was in his early 30s because he took care of himself. He trained and ate right. He had great diet. Very disciplined man. Yeah, he is out of war for sure, man. Because I did ask him one day, hey, why don't you try some moves on me? And he's all right. Well, swing at me. And so I swung at him, and he did this crazy move. And next thing I know, my arm is like back here, and I'm like, crap, dude, this guy could have easily broken my arm if he wanted to. But yeah, that's like my little real life stories of martial arts and my fascination with martial arts. So yeah, guys, that's my campaign. Here's my campaign for 30. It's going to be up for 30 days. There is no set goal. The goal is a flexible goal. So it's if I scroll back up here, the goal is 500 flexible goal. The good news is that the book is finished. It's complete. There is no need to produce any more pages. There's no need for anything more extra. Everything is done. All I need is the print. So essentially, this campaign is to help me print the copies that people want, for their consumption. Let's renew here. Let's find out if anyone has nope, just one backer. Still pretty good for the first night. So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Let me see what's on Twitter here. Nothing much. But yeah. So there you have it, guys. That's the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed Book 1. It's now live. If you guys know anyone who's looking for this kind of book, send them my way. If I haven't followed me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is right there. So you just type that in on Twitter and I'll pop up. My YouTube channel is Julius_Freeman comics. You could check me out there. I'll be doing videos every Wednesday. I do plan on doing live streams on Fridays. I'm still thinking about maybe doing like a movie stream, where I talk to someone about a certain kind of director's, movies or whatever. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not sure yet. Love it, brother. Keep up the good work. Michael Gomez. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your support. It's always appreciated, and I love you guys. Anyone here is watching, I love you guys as well for showing your support to an indie creator who is just trying to make it and trying to showcase my skills to the world. And I hope that the Ghetto Dragon does do well. I am confident that it will. I just gotta hustle. Now that's the reason why they call it campaigns, is because it's like a political campaign, right? You have to work and get yourself out there. So I do plan on being on many live streams in the month of November. I will be conducting my own live streams. Maybe every Wednesday. Maybe I'll just go live every Wednesday instead of just producing the video, because this is a lot more fun than sitting down and actually editing a video that I will upload on my YouTube channel. And I think it'd be best to also have people on my live stream as well, so that way we can have a back and forth and we could talk about each other's projects. So Julius has the eye of the tiger. Yeah, eye of the tiger. Dun, 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 dun. Love that movie, by the way. That was Rocky 3, I want to say, right? Rocky 3? I think so. With Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. I think that was the song where that it became famous. Thank you, Seven. Seven again, guys. If you guys don't know, Steven Seven is the artist for cover B for the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed comic book, and it's a great cover. Fantastic. I really love the way it came out. It's very. He has a very. If I have the eye of a tiger, you have the eye of a lion, my friend, because you have what I like about your work is it. I like the symmetry of it. You have a very symmetrical um, artistic viewpoint which is the reason why I was curious. I was interested to hiring you to do a cover because you did a cover for another person. I forget it was for a contest, I think. And I remember when I saw it, I was really blown away by it, and I really love. I'm a huge fan of symmetrical artwork. Don't get me wrong, like it's not just that. I like other styles of art too, but symmetrical artwork is like it's like eye candy for me. That's why I love Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons because their artwork, Dave Gibbons' artwork is very symmetrical and very straight and very like detailed as well. It's very crazy. Yes, that's right. Graveyard Shift. It was for Graveyard Shift, and I remember looking at that and being really mesmerized. I can't believe it hasn't been judged yet. Surprised. I wonder. What's the holdup on that? Because I think I would hope anyway, that your cover would be up there, one of the finalists, in the cover. Because yeah, your cover, I thought from the other ones that I've seen, because there was a bunch of them that I saw on I think is it Wenger's book? I can't remember whose book it is. He the other ones were okay, but yours was the one that really like struck me, and that's a maybe they're waiting until it's ready to print. Oh, maybe, and hopefully they do choose yours to print because yours would be a great cover to put on the printed version. Because like I said, it popped. It pops, and that's the key to a good cover. The key to a good comic book cover when you go into a comic book shop is the cover. If the cover does not hook you to pick up the book, then the cover artist didn't do their job right. And that cover you did for Graveyard Shift was like, whoa, hey, now this is a book I would love to read, because it's a little superficial, but that's the nature of the beast when it comes to comic book, selling comic books. The cover has to hook you in, has to put you in, and make sure that it has the reader open the book and check out the interior artwork, and then they buy it. Because that's the way I do it. How I purchase comic books is if the cover gets me, I pick up the book, I look at the interior pages, and if the interior pages are just as impressive, I purchase the book. And then when I get home, I actually read the book. So if the story is good, then I come back the next month to purchase the second issue. If it doesn't hook me, I don't come back to buy the second issue. I keep the book. Don't get me wrong, I still keep it, but I don't bother going back to buy the second issue because the story didn't hook me. That's the way I do it. I don't know about anyone else's approach to buying comics, but that's the way I do it, and that's what I wanted to do with your cover. And you did a freaking phenomenal job of it, because that cover, especially your cover, it's a good like, ooh, look at this. This is a cool cover. There's a guy in the alley. He's blocked in, and there's two guys with knives, and he has to fight his way out with no weapons. Great. It shows you everything. It tells you nothing, which is what I think is a top-notch comic book cover, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, guys, that's about it. That's all I have to cover for the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed. I will, like I said, I will have more live streams. I'll probably have more guests on the live stream, so that way they could be we could have a conversation, and we could get to know each other and get to advertise each other's books and projects. And Seven, man, you want to be on, man? Like if you want to be on one of the live streams, let me know. And you don't have to be on camera. You can have your little 7 symbol there, and we can have a conversation. If you're interested in doing that, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to set up a day where you and I can talk comics or talk whatever it is that it's on. That could be on our minds. It doesn't really matter. Graveyard Shift was a very different approach to Ghetto Dragon, which I felt was a better texture and not so slick. Maybe we could stream sometime and chat about it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. You're down for that. All right, awesome. So yeah, man, absolutely. I'll be down with that. And I'm gonna do my best. I forgot to mention, guys, I should have mentioned this earlier. The book is drawn by Alan Fletcher. Okay, Alan Fletcher is an artist from Britain who lives in Sweden, I think, or Denmark, one of those two countries. And he got on the project because he is also a huge Bruce Lee fan, and he was all about it. So this is his artwork. This is his pencils, and he's a soldier, man. He's a soldier. He stuck with the project for 3 years, and he's going to finish it. He's given me his word that he is going to finish this book, come high hell or water. So, um, I really can't wait for you guys to see book two, because book two, you know how sometimes when an artist and writer team kind of get together for the first time, they start working together, they have to work out their kinks, so to say. They have to get accustomed to one another. And the first few pages, I don't know if you could tell or not, but there's a little bit of like, friction there, between writer and artist. And as the story progressed, we finally mended, and oh man, you guys have no idea what's in store for you for book two. So yeah, it's drawn by Alan Fletcher. It's colored by Guadalupe Bustamante, a very talented colorist from Argentina. And it's inked by Julio Falkenhagen, another talented artist from Argentina. And I have a great team. It's lettered by myself. I do the lettering myself, and it's has a great team involved in the project. And the artwork is just absolutely phenomenal. I have some great artists involved, so I hope that it shows when you guys look at the preview pages. I still can't believe I missed that page. I can't believe that. Seriously, I'm seriously like embarrassed about it. But it's too late now. Nothing I could do about it. It is what it is. So yeah, guys, this is the Indiegogo campaign. Back it. I think the prices are very fair. I think the prices are very low compared to the other campaigns that are out there. It's less than $25. You're not going to pay any more than $25 within the United States. Outside the United States, I apologize for all the people who live outside the United States. That's just the prices I have to do to make sure that everything is paid for, postage and shipping materials and what have you. But within the United States, if you live within the United States and you want a copy of this book, you're not going to pay any more than $25. None. $20 is the most you're going to pay for this book within the United States, which I think is a great deal, personally. And you're going to get 50 plus pages of a great story. You guys there's a great story here with No Good Deed. This character, he seems perfect, but he isn't. You'll see as you read the story, that he is not. He's far from perfect. He's very arrogant and guising himself as humble, as you will read in the story. But once again, PDF for $3, black and white print for $5. PDF is also in black and white. Colored version with Kim Jacinto's cover will be for $11. And if we hit the 5K mark, then I'll be able to produce these goodies that I will send alongside the book. And then you have cover B with Steven Seven's cover, another beautiful cover. So you have the choices of two beautiful covers that you could choose from for the same price, $11. And again, no more than $20 with shipping within the United States. Outside the United States, it's going to be a little bit more, unfortunately. And then these last two tiers is two books. One book is The No Good Deed, book one, and the second book is The Ghetto Dragon Chronicles, short stories that I've written and produced over the years, compiled into one book, and it will be only available for this campaign. Outside this campaign, this second book here will not be reprinted. This is the only time you're going to get a chance to have a rare copy of this Ghetto Dragon collectible item. And of course, this tier, it comes with Apu-chan's, I'm sorry, not Apu-chan's cover, Kim Jacinto's cover for $16. So it's 11 for this, and it's 5 for this cover, for this book here. So it's again a great deal. It's still, I think, less. I know it's probably right at the $25 mark for two books, which is still pretty good within the United States. And then of course the second tier is with Steve Seven's cover alongside this book, which is the cover drawn by a good friend of mine named Jose Espinoza. So there you have it, guys. That's the campaign. I know it isn't that much compared to other campaigns, but like I said before, I'm a one-man team. I'm a straight up indie creator doing it all by myself. And so this coming month is going to be hustle time for me. And I hope you guys can help me get to the 5K mark. So that way, if that does happen, I'll be able to produce these small goodies and send them over to you guys so you guys can appreciate them and love them. Because I think it's worth it. I think it's worth every single penny. And you guys are getting a great deal for 50 plus pages of a great story, in my opinion. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to let you go now. I think I've been on for an hour and a half, which is the time I wanted to be on. Let's refresh, see if anyone's campaign. Oh, look at that. We got a second campaigner. $45 now. We have two campaigners now. Let's see. We have someone claimed. Oh, I guess someone just gave money. Great. We have two backers. $45. Once again, thank you guys. That is awesome. I mean, this is great. I'm extremely grateful. Seriously, guys. I am grateful that I'm able to do this and showcase my talents to you guys. And already $45, two backers is already giving me, not confidence, but gratefulness that two people already within the span of an hour have given me a sign of confidence to pursue this dream of mine that I've been pursuing for the past 10 years of my life, trying to make comic books and get them out to the people who love comic books as well, because I'm a huge comic book fan. I've been the comic book fan for a long time, since I was 13 years old. And when I was 18 years old, I decided I wanted to pursue comic books. And I've been trying ever since I was 18 years old to get my name out there, to get my stuff out there into the world. And, it's a marathon race. And here I am 10 years later. Well, 20 years now, actually, because I started in 2001. So yeah, close to 20 years now, trying to make it into this business. And here I am, still running the marathon, still pursuing it, not stopping. And for the two backers who just backed this campaign, I'm grateful to you. I really am. Because within this time, you guys have given me a sign of confidence, and I am eternally grateful to you guys. And also to those who wish to campaign, not to campaign, but to contribute later on. This is not the end of it. This is the beginning. And so, let's see what the cool can't wait to read and pretend that I'm Bruce Lee. My ghetto better watch. That's right, Seven. That's right. They better watch out. Oh man, you know what? I gotta have you on, dude. We gotta. I'll set something up so that way you and I can start this stream. Hopefully next week, and we could just start talking and get to know each other better, because you seem like a cool dude and down to earth. I'm gonna try to get Alan Fletcher, the artist of the book, to be on the show as well. I'm gonna email him and convince him to make some time out of his busy schedule to come on the show, so you guys can get to know the artist, because the artist Alan Fletcher, you're going to hear his name. His name will be heard years from now, because this guy is dedicated to his craft. The reason why book 2 is taking a little longer to produce, because he went back to school to hone his craft. He wants to become a master of the craft of sequential storytelling. So watch out for his name. His name is going to be big one day, be it in the crowdfunding world or even the professional world. I wouldn't doubt it if you got jobs at DC, Marvel, Image, or Dark Horse, or etc., because he is a talented artist and he's going to be up there. You'll see as the pages progress. You'll see as the story progresses just how much he's grown. So I hope you guys will tune in to the channel in future dates. I will keep active on Twitter and make sure everyone knows when I'll be on, so you guys can tune in and comment and interact and talk, and we'll do whatever we can to get this campaign up and going and reach its goal. So I'll try to get him on the show. I'll try to get the other artists involved, Julio Falkenhagen and Guadalupe. I just don't know if they, if their English is good, and meaning I don't want to. My Spanish isn't great, to be honest with you, and so I don't want to have this miscommunication or communication breakdown. Even though I would love to have them on the show, so I'll have to email them. But if I can, I'll get them on the show. But for sure, I'm gonna try to get Alan Fletcher on the show so you guys can know the artist behind the Ghetto Dragon. And Seven, of course, I'll have you on the show, and I'm gonna try to have Kim Jacinto on the show as well. And hopefully that will work out, and then the campaign will get bigger and bigger as time goes on. So with that said, I would like to thank everyone who joined us in the stream tonight, and I'm grateful to all of you who did join us. And let people know about the channel, let people know about the campaign. If you can't give to the campaign, if you can't afford one of the perks, hey, give a few dollars. I will still be eternally grateful for $1. If you could just give $1, I'll be grateful to you, regardless. If you just give $1 to the campaign, because it's something, and it's better than nothing. So there's that. So I hope you guys continue on supporting the campaign, and I'll see you guys in a later date. And I hope we can make it happen for the Ghetto Dragon No Good Deed Book 1. And so you guys have a good night. You guys stay safe out there, and make sure and great. I'll bring a can of whoop ass. That's right, dude. We'll bring a can of whoop ass. Was that Stone Cold, right? It's Seven. If Steven 7 says so, and that's the bottom line, because Steven 7 said so. Oh, that's great. So again, guys, thank you for joining me for the stream. I deeply appreciate it. I hope you guys will join me next time. And like I said, take care, party on, be excellent to each other, and there you go. Peace be with you. See you guys.